Welcome to The Explainer. I'm so thrilled you're tuning in today because we are going to unpack something truly phenomenal. We're looking at a concept that absolutely shatters the way most of us think about success and personal growth. If you've ever felt like there just aren't enough hours in the day, or like you're constantly running on a treadmill but never really arriving anywhere, well, this explainer is definitely for you. Okay, let's dive right into this life-changing blueprint. We're going to explore how dedicating just one single intentional hour a day to your own growth can completely reshape your habits, your income, your relationships, and ultimately your legacy. So, what if 60 minutes could change absolutely everything? Honestly, most people just wouldn't buy it. And why is that? Because we've all been sold a lie. We've been conditioned to think that massive transformation requires some sort of miracle. We think it demands a 20-hour workday, an incredible stroke of luck, or just being born with a silver spoon. But the source material we're exploring today completely flips that script. It tells us point blank that success isn't an accident, it's a daily decision. And that decision doesn't require waiting around for a new year or a big break. It starts with just 60 minutes of focused discipline. See, we often fall into this massive trap, what our source calls the miracle myth. It's where so many of us live out our days, right? Busy, but rarely ever growing. People scroll, they rush, they repeat. They're just constantly reacting to the world around them without ever stopping to think. And because they don't think, they don't change. But on the flip side, we have the 1 hour reality. This is all about intention. It's about choosing creation over passive consumption. It's dedicating 1 solid hour to working on yourself instead of sitting back and watching someone else live their life on a screen. All right, section 1, reclaim your first hour. Because look, how you start your morning literally dictates your entire life. It's not just some trendy routine you see online, it's a core ritual. But most people give their very first hour away immediately. They hit snooze, wake up, reach straight for the phone, and just let doom scrolling program their mind before they've even had a cup of coffee. You have to actively take that hour back. Make it yours before the emails and the chaos of the world start creeping in. Get up a little earlier, not because it's a fad, but because it's genuinely transformational. You've got a whole menu of choices for that hour. Read 10 pages of a great book, jot down 3 things you're grateful for, plan out your goals, move your body, or honestly just sit in silence. Do what the old you never made time for. If you win this first hour, you're mentally and spiritually ahead of the game. You win the morning, you win the day, and eventually you win your life. There's this fantastic phrase to keep in mind. Don't trade gold for crumbs. Once you've carved out that specific hour, you've got to guard it like absolute treasure. People and distractions will constantly try to steal it from you. You know how it is. A little notification here, a quick favor there. Suddenly, you're trading the gold of your own future for the crumbs of other people's priorities. No way! You must put up a massive fence around this time. Schedule it, set it in stone, and get as serious about this single hour as a master builder is serious about their tools. If it doesn't grow you, it doesn't get your hour, period. Let's move right into section 2, direction before any action. Now, before you just dive headfirst into a book or start building a new project, you really need to avoid the trap of empty hustle. You've got to stop and ask yourself this powerful question: where am I actually going? Too many people confuse movement with meaning. They're basically on a treadmill, sweating, grinding, running incredibly fast, but going absolutely nowhere. Action without direction is literally just a recipe for burnout and frustration. So take 3 quick minutes at the very start of your hour to get crystal clear. What is the actual goal today? What specific skill are you actively building? Our source anchors this beautifully with the philosophy from Denzel Washington. He points out that reasons come first, answers come second. You absolutely have to know your why. And here's the real secret: don't just think about it in your head, physically write it down. Getting your clarity on paper immediately transforms it into focus and action. Direction always matters more than speed. If you take the time to aim and align your actions with your desired outcomes, you turn that hour from just a simple block of time into a highly focused mission. Okay, section 3, the pillars of daily growth. So, we've got our hour locked in, our direction is set, but where do we actually put this time? Well, we start with education. Look, the minute you stop learning, you literally stop growing. And learning doesn't mean you have to go back to an expensive university. It's about setting aside focused time to feed your mind. Check out this incredible quote, again from Denzel Washington. Formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. While the rest of the crowd is just drifting and watching nonsense, you are developing. You're reading biographies, studying communication, mastering your mindset. You are stacking up wisdom, page by page. Let's just look at the sheer math of consistency for a second. An hour a day might feel tiny in the moment, but over a year, that's 365 hours. To put that into perspective, that equals over 9 full-time work weeks invested purely into your own mind and growth. Imagine working a full-time job, doing nothing but improving yourself for 2 entire months. That is the undeniable massive impact of just 1 daily hour compounding over time. You simply won't even recognize yourself a year from now. And this compounding magic applies perfectly to our next pillar, wealth. You see, there's a really big difference between wages and profits. Wages make you a living, absolutely, but profits make you a fortune. Most people come home from work, completely shut down, mindlessly scroll on their phones, and then wonder why their financial situation never seems to change. But if you use your quiet hour, maybe it's that hour right after dinner, to build a side business, learn a high-value skill, or really plan your finances, you are generating incredible future momentum. You're building something that is entirely yours. But hey, what good is a sharp mind and a growing business if your physical body is failing, right? That brings us to our health pillar. Energy is literally the fuel for achievement. Your body and mind are so deeply connected. You cannot think straight when you're exhausted, and you definitely cannot lead when you're totally burnt out. If you neglect your body, it breaks down silently in the background until the price shows up in a missed opportunity or a hospital bill. So, dedicate time to move, breathe, stretch, and sweat. When you elevate your physical health, you instantly elevate the energy you need to chase down every single other goal on your list. Which brings us to section 4. Reflect, refine, and repeat. We've been talking a lot about doing the work, but honestly, progress lives just as much in reviewing the work. Right at the end of your hour, not later, not tomorrow, but right then, you've got to close the loop. Take just 5 minutes to run through these 3 steps. Step 1, reflect. What did you actually learn? What did you struggle with? Be super honest with yourself. Step 2, refine. What can be tweaked, improved, or simplified for tomorrow? And step 3, repeat, showing up again the exact same way the next day. Reflection creates clarity, clarity creates improvement, and improvement creates real-world results. I absolutely love this next concept. Think of the airplane principle. Did you know that commercial airplanes are technically off course about 90% of the time? Wind and weather are just constantly pushing them around. But guess what? They still land exactly where they're supposed to. Why? Because they constantly reflect on their position, refine their trajectory, and repeat the process over and over. Excellence isn't about making one giant, perfect, flawless leap. It's about a series of small, intelligent, consistent corrections over a long period of time. And finally, section 5. Start your transformation today. Tomorrow is a promise. Today is a decision. If you take just one single thing away from our explainer today, please let it be this. Do not wait. Seriously, don't wait for motivation to magically strike. Don't wait for the perfect mood or for next Monday or for some New Year's resolution. Change doesn't happen when you simply know what to do. Change happens when you actually do what you know. Every single time you show up for that 1 hour, you are casting a powerful vote for your future self. You're stacking the hours and actively changing your identity from someone who just waits around to someone who builds. So I'm going to leave you with this final vital question. What hour will you take back today? You've got the map now. You know the steps. You see the sheer power hidden in just 60 minutes. Don't walk away from this explainer just feeling warm and inspired. Walk away activated. Claim your hour, guard it like gold, and start building the life you've only ever imagined. Start today. 1 hour, 1 decision, 1 entirely new you. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.